I'm here today with Asphodel Ivory, also known as Jack, so I'm going to hand it over to him so he can introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Asphodel Ivory, also known as Jack Schneider. I run Elysium, which is a dark club event in Central Square, Cambridge, Massachusetts.
It's been almost 2 years of Elysium now, coming up in August, so how has that been feeling? How do you feel about it?
I think we're in a really, really good place. It's been a long time in the making, but
yeah.
We're at a point where we're doing well enough where we can start to think about booking larger acts more consistently, and more than that, expanding the event into a different room. Our goal for 2027 is to have Elysium be a 2-room event. So that means more bookings, more live acts, and more music in general.
Oh, that's so fucking sick.
Yay!
Do you have any plans to do anything special for the 2-year anniversary?
Well, that would be in December. Not really. We don't have anything planned for December.
Yeah.
Just because it's kind of a tough month, but we do have several really we have some bookings that I'm really excited about in September, November, and October as well. So I'm not going to say too much about those right now, but it will be really insane. So I'm excited about those.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
How did you get into all of this too? Like, what was your story of getting into goth, kind of discovering everything, and just how you found your way?
It's interesting. Getting into goth, I feel like it had always been from the outset. It had been about the music.
Yeah.
And when I was a teenager, I was like very much into like electronic music, like Skrillex and dubstep and stuff. And I was like 13. And then I was just like on Spotify, and I was driving to school one day, and I was going through my radio, and I had been listening to like 9 Inch Nails and stuff like that, and was loving it. I liked some metal too.
Yeah.
And then this song, it was God Is in the Rain by Suicide Commando came on, and I was like, oh my god. And then I was like really jamming out to that song, and like since then I was just completely sold on like agrotech and dark electro and all that stuff. As for getting into the fashion of it all, I think that really happened when I moved to Boston, and I started going out more frequently to events, and then I was just like, oh, I want to like be like cyber goth and like wear cool clothes and all that, and it was really about, I think the fashion was less about like looking cool and just like feeling that sense of belonging with that community.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I got into it.
It's like that feeling of self-expression, being able to fully be yourself and still relate to a whole group of people while doing that.
Exactly, yeah.
What would you say were like your big 3 artists that really got you into everything? Favorites?
My favorites probably, oh my god, Suicide Commando, definitely. He's just like, oh my god, I love his work. Suicide Commando, Alien Vampires, and I don't really know the third one. It's like Tactical Sect, I think I would have to say. I don't really listen to him too much now, but like when I listened to Syncope, which was one of their larger albums, that was a really big sell for me. So I think those 3 got me into it. Right now, I think that my favorites are, I think more like techno adjacent now. So still Suicide Commando, love him. Reese Fulber is incredible. Scalamaraya too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, awesome bands.
Would you say that those bands and artists would be what got you into wanting to make music too?
Yes, yeah. That sound, I think, got me into wanting to make music, and because it always felt like, to me, like agrotech and dark electro always had this very masculine edge to it, and it was clubby, but like it I wanted to make it like more clubby and like have this like kind of like I wanted to impart like a bit of like queerness into it. And a little bit more of that free spiritedness. Like I love the sounds and everything. Like I'm not judging those bands for having that particular sound, but I wanted to do my own little evolution on the sound.
I love that because we need more of that in the community. I feel that there's definitely not enough queer representation in the community.
I would agree with that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did you get into DJing?
It was, I used to throw house parties when I was in college. And we would play techno music, and I went to UNH, University of New Hampshire, and I would just bring all my friends and whatever. And then initially it started as like we would throw parties and just like play music off the JBL. But then I was like, oh, it would be cool like if we had like a DJ, because I'd been out to some other house parties and they'd had DJs at those events. So I was like, what if we had a DJ? And then I bought my first controller, which was a DDJ 400. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I just kind of started playing music. And I wasn't very good at it. And then I actually started Elysium, which at the time was a smaller event in Zuzu in Central Square. And I was also just kind of doing whatever. Then I met my friend Jared, DJ Jared, who is resident at Elysium, and he taught me pretty much everything I know about DJing.
That's awesome. You have such a unique style. I feel like when we see you, like we know that it's you.
Thank you.
And I wanted to know what some of your biggest style inspirations are.
So there's these French I think they're French or maybe British. I don't quite know. European, for lack of a better word. Designers called Fecal Matter. You might be aware of them. But, they had worked with Rick Owens and several other contemporary designers. But their style was very like inhuman. Like it was very, very transgressive. But it also had this kind of elegance to it and grace. I would say they are some of my biggest inspirations. I think also like 2000s dark club culture, like the Liberty Spikes and like neon hair and like all black with neon and stuff like that. That's a big inspiration for me, like lots of plastic and stuff like that. I think that's a big style inspiration for me as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I feel like one of the outfits that you've done recently too, it almost reminded me of Resident Evil.
Which one?
Was the one with like the long
coat
and everything,
Oh, I should say, actually, video games are like another big source of inspiration for me. Like weird video games, like Command and Conquer, like a bunch of these like old like RTS strategy games had these like weird cutscenes and like strange like fashion and aesthetic choices that were strangely almost campily like futuristic. It was very kitschy, but I took a lot of inspiration from those.
With Synapse, it's been a few months of Synapse now. How have you been feeling about it and what direction it's going in so far?
I am very excited about the direction that it's going in. When I came up with the idea for it, I wanted it to be another dark electronic kind of event, but I wanted it to be like if Elysium is very like in your face, Synapse needs to be more withdrawn and like sexy. So it's a lot slower, but we've been seeing very good turnout for the past 2 months. And I'm hopeful that we can continue going in that direction. We have plans to give the go-go dancers like some more equipment, so we were thinking about boxes for them and maybe poles, something like that. Getting more lighting, obviously keeping it as minimal as possible. Like we want to have it very dark in there, but we do have plans to increase the performance value, I would say, of the night.
That'll be incredible. I feel like that's one of the things that sticks out to me the most about Elysium, Synapse, and all of the nights that you run, the go-go dancers specifically.
Yeah, I love my dad's house. So I'm very honored to be able to work with incredible people like that. Yeah.
What was your experience working with certain artists? Like, I know you've had so many different people come in. Like, how's the experience been meeting so many different people?
It's it's been kind of a trip. I think when it's funny to just like meet these people. Like when I was like a teenager, like we had recently booked Entrepreneur for a show in November. When I was a teenager, I loved Entrepreneur and her music. And then just meeting her in person was awesome because we were just, you know, hanging out and having drinks and stuff. And it was really cool to have that kind of like full circle experience.
Yeah.
And not to mention she's one of the sweetest people. And the same thing with Circuit Preacher, like I mean, just one of the greatest guys. I think that a lot of the people in this scene are so about doing it. It makes conversation with them like immediately on this like equal playing field. I've never felt like I'd had to like suck up to people or like make less of myself to, you know, talk to these larger artists. It always feels like we're all kind of one level in this scene.
I feel like that's the best thing about all of the alternative scenes. It's just like one big family almost. I'll be at an event and like I'm socially anxious, and I feel like when you see me at events and what I do, you really don't think that of me when you see me initially, that I'm replaying everything in my head afterwards. But
I've only ever had great times with you, I swear to say.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's like the only place that I feel like I can fully be myself and not have to worry about having some kind of filter on and being able to just talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
And it just comes so naturally.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It is definitely like a really welcoming community. For some of the faults that it has, I think it is one of the best places that you can be in right now.
With the very quick rise in the goth scene and everything, how do you feel? Like, have you seen anything change, evolve?
In terms of what, like
just in terms of like the goth scene all of a sudden kind of being sensationalized, seeing how popular it's gotten so quickly. Have you noticed any changes in the community aside from the drama almost?
Well, I think that not that you have to like be into the music to be at these events, but there's a lot of people who aren't necessarily like super into the music, and that's fine. Like the point of Elysium and Synapse, more than anything else, has been to introduce more people to that music and bring more people together in this community. But I find that people who go to the event in like and enjoy it, but then they don't like enjoy the music or whatever. It's just like if you're not into it, then you're not into it. You know? So I think that can sometimes be a problem. I think that the consumer aspect of it is a little worrying to me. Like I see a lot of fast fashion going around, and obviously that's not very good for the environment. So I think that there are bad actors who are, you know, trying to make a buck off of how popular the style is getting. And so I'm not super pleased about that. But we do, of course, have you know, hundreds and hundreds of incredible like vendors and DIYers who make clothing and wares, who aren't, you know, just some big corporation.
Right, like loving Depop. Depop's like one of my favorite places in the world. I find everything on there. I'll have like 3 packages coming in a month for some reason. I'll just be like, ooh, getting baked, and just being like, ooh, I like that, and then like forget I ordered it, and then I'm like, oh my god, surprise package.
Yep, I got it.
But like thrifting, but I feel like recently I have seen thrifting making a comeback, but one thing I do notice is that there's a lot of fast fashion in thrift stores, so I completely agree with the whole like seeing so much more fast fashion.
I agree with that. Thrifting is good because I see a lot of people modifying their clothing that they've bought, thrifting, like upcycled clothing and stuff like that. So it's not all bad.
Right. I even see a lot more people posting like tutorials on how to DIY certain things, and I feel like that's so good to see, Because I feel that the main thing that keeps people and discourages people from doing DIY is they feel that they're not good at it, they don't know where to start, they don't know how to do it. And it's just so nice to see that there are so many people out there now that are like, oh yeah, like this is how you do this. It's not as difficult as you think it is, kind of thing.
Right, I agree. And I think in general, like, just doing the thing is like more important than like being good at it.
Yeah.
I think certainly for me, when I started doing events and like DJing and being goth, like I wasn't good at any of those things. I just did it. And so I think that's the case for anybody,
right.
You know, in any creative pursuit.
Right, it's with people, I feel like some people almost get frustrated that they're not good at it right away, but they don't really think about the fact that nobody's really good at it when they first do it. Like, I know, like, the first time I sewed a patch onto a jacket or vest, it was absolutely awful. Like, it ripped right off.
Yay!
But then you learn over time, like, how to work with those things, how to do a proper stitch, how to do anything like that. And it's just such a rewarding thing, too, I feel like, once you teach yourself how to make something, and it's, like, the first time that you make something that's actually wearable, you're just like, oh my goodness, it worked.
Right, I agree completely. I had the same experience with some of my clothing that I made, and I was just, like, constantly beating myself up about like how it wasn't perfect and I wasted all this time and whatever, but then you get closer to that desired end result, and when that comes together, that's a really good moment.
What direction would you like to see Elysium and Synapse go?
So we've talked a little bit about this, me and my other resident DJs, we talked a bit about it. Elysium, in the future, if things go according to plan, we'd like to turn it into a kind of like, we take over the whole Middle East complex for like a night, and then we pack it with like, you know, bands and DJs and vendors and all the rest, and we make it something really, really special.
Yeah.
And we do it cross genre, so it's not just, you know, industrial and goth or whatever, but like, you know, we bring in some like electronic artists. We do like techno artists and all this other stuff, and we just like have all these really, really cool, talented people who are making very, very intense, like aggressive, dark electronic music. Like that's my goal, at least for Elysium. Synapse, I have less of a plan going forward for that. We had been talking about maybe moving it into a larger room, but beyond that, there's no super long-term thinking about that night, just because it's so early in the development of it. We've only had like 2 events, but if things continue to go to plan, like we're gonna obviously size it up. So
that'll be incredible. I can't wait to see what direction everything goes in, and just so excited to see like Elysium keep growing too. I remember going to like one of the first ones because it was like August 2024. I remember that because that was like the first time that I really got to have like a full conversation with you.
Yeah, that was a good time. The energy in Zuzu was definitely. I'm glad we're in a larger room. That's what I'll say.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
It got packed super fast.
It really did. Yeah, like oh my god, do you remember how like sweaty it would get? Like
in
the room, it was fucking crazy. Oh my god.
Darren, even the upstairs too, when it was
I know.
there
Oh my
too, because
fucking
that one night that Sonia was double booked and we were like in the upstairs, I was like dying. I was like, it's hot.
There was this one night, I think it was in August actually, that we were put in the upstairs.
I think that's the month it was.
Yes. And it was like 90 degrees outside, and there was like 200 people in this tiny ass room. And I just remember like peeling my clothes off at the end of the night.
I could only imagine.
It was like the worst fucking time ever, but it was a really good night. So we suffer for our art, I suppose.
We suffer for the swag. That's what I always say.
Exactly. So yeah.
Do you have any like final points? Anything else that you would like to say?
No, but like I don't know. I'm very grateful that you came and interviewed me. And if you at all are interested in dark electronic music or hardcore music, hardcore electronic music, I would say definitely come check out Elysium and Synapse.
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much for having me because this was so amazing, and I just absolutely love being here and just like hanging out with you outside of the club. It's always
Yeah.
such like an interesting experience because
I
I've
know.
always seen you at either Ex Mortis, Elysium, anything like that, and I've never seen you just like outside
Is
of
this
that
the first
setting.
time you've like ever seen me without my makeup
In
on?
person, yeah.
Actually,
Actually, yeah.
Alright, well, hi, I'm me. Anyways, thank you again.
Oh, thank you so much. And then do you just want to tell everyone where we can find you, where we can find Elysium, Synapse?
Sure. So I am on Instagram. My handle is at Asphodel, like the flower, _Ivory. And then Elysium is Elysium _ Boston, Synapse Boston. And we are in the Middle East Club. Elysium is on every third Saturday in Sonia, and Synapse is every fourth Friday in the Middle East upstairs.
All right, thank you so much. Yes. And that is Mutilation Mag signing off.